it's it's I can say it's a beautiful program that I feel honored to participate on for the past years. Semillas is a program that helps children succeed in school. They and you know, I think for what I experience is more that to have success in school is also to start loving going to school, because sometimes a lot of these children are very behind, and of course they struggle a lot that they don't like school. You know, I mean, who wants to go and struggle there? So really get them to succeed, to love school, to and most of all, it's um it's a merge, I think, of cultures. I think we have seen that in this program. This is for Spanish speaking families, and most of the tutors are English speakers. So I think more than a tutoring program is also this merge of cultures. You know that I think tutors learn so much from the Hispanic culture, and also the kids and the families learn so much from from America, you know, from these beautiful volunteers who give them their time for help the children. I think the families really are appreciated so much, and release a lot of stress on these families. It helps a lot on their ongoing living, because they already are families who many times have two jobs. um, they don't know the language, so they can't help with the homework. It's, I think it's the most struggle. It's, I mean, myself, you know, I'm an immigrant here, and of course I learned very differently in school, and I speak English, and many times I cannot help my 10-year-old son. You know, it's like, oh my god, how, I don't have idea how to do this. And I can search, you know, I can search in Google, I can read English, I can do these things. I can not even imagine when you don't speak the language, when you don't have the ability or the access to search in the internet to all these things. You know, they really get so much stress about this. And I think Semilla, I mean, if you tell me, if you give me the microphone, Kelly, I can talk about semillas. But I know you just asked me to describe semillas, but it's just like it involves so much. It just involves so much in what it is. Semillas is just so beautiful. It's I'm a mixed feelings, you know, because for now we have a new coordinator, and we are very excited about that. And at the same time, it's like, oh my god, this program is in my heart so much. And I think, you know, we are in this transition that I'm going. I also love parenting, and I want to put all my energy on provide parenting classes. I certify for a methodology that I just love so much, and I just want to put my energy there. But I love Semillas. I love what it is. I love what it involves. I love the merge of cultures. I love seeing the families being so happy, so relief on when the kids are succeeding. We have a chat, you know, we have a um, WhatsApp chat, and some parents post pictures when the kids graduated this year from school. And some of them saying, thank you for Semillas. My child was able to graduate from third grade or from fourth grade or even kindergarten. You know, so just see that is just satisfying, is so rewarding.
Mm. So Semilla started at, thank you, Claudia. And I want to hear more. I love Claudia's energy. Claudia and I've been working together for 3 years now, I guess. Semilla started 4 years ago at Apex. Did you start on that first year? Claudia? It was
It was the
shortly
second year. Yeah, I think it was
second year.
the
That's what I
second
was
year.
thinking. That's what I was thinking. But we started it at Apex or Fiesta Christiana Apex UMC in the DC 400 in person 4 years ago. And again, as Claudia stated, the families of English as a second language needed the support to help tutor their students. And I was brought over actually from a sister program, Semillas de Amor at White Plains United Methodist. That program's been going for 17 years. And it was a similar situation. 5 families got together to interact with preschoolers, and the moms were like, how do you read these report cards as the school age children were coming in? And that's how Semillas was started. With Semillas, we have paired tutors with students one-on-one. The parents, when we were in person up until the pandemic, where we had to go all virtual, we would meet on Monday and Wednesday night from 5 to 6. And it would not be a drop-off. We've always said Semillas, we want the parent involvement, because the students really seem to do so much better when they see that their parents are invested in the education. And parenting programs were provided at the time. ESL, I know, was provided, as well as bringing in Wake County services and other opportunities. And then when the pandemic started, we went 100% virtual. Semillas grew, but we lost some community, and it was just too much for Claudia and I to be on top of. Getting in touch with everybody. But Claudia, as she mentioned, focused on the parenting classes. And we also brought in UNC students to help with translating and to help with tutoring. We send out a request for one student that was at UNC, and that student got into the Spanish department, and over the weekend, there were over 100 applications from UNC students wanting to tutor. There was a lot of filtering that had to happen we ended up with 40 some UNC tutors, and they have created a sister or a club that's partnering with Semillas. Claudia, I'm on pause there, and well, I guess one of the things that we have Denise here with us that is a new hire for the Semillas Day coordinator. I am not bilingual. Claudia is, but Claudia was doing the parenting, and it was just too much. I felt like there was so much being lost. And it was time for us to hire one person to be able to communicate and coordinate between parents and students and tutors. So we also have a committee with Semillas de Unidad that helped interview the candidates that we had, and Denise rose to the top as just we're very excited to have her to move into this position. And Claudia and I, as much as we love Semillas, and also the committee is going to help support and be there for Denise as she also leans on us that have been a part of this program for 3 or 4 years to help grow it. So Claudia, I'm gonna toss it back to you as far as your thoughts of how we're doing this transition. And we also want to offer times to ask questions and for Denise to share her excitement about starting this new role that she's moving into.
Sure. Yeah, no, we are, when the pandemic started, everything changed, right? Everything changed. So we were saying, oh, now what we're gonna do? And we waited because we were thinking, oh, okay, we are going back. And I think everyone thought that it will last 3 months or 2 months, and then 4 months, and then a whole. So we say, we need to do something, with with the children. So then we start doing it virtual, and it was crazy. It was a crazy time. I think Kelly and I, as much we work super well together, we're trying to figure it out what to do. And many parents, some of them didn't know how to even use a Zoom, right? I mean, they don't know, and they were like a little bit afraid of using technology. But I think one of the great things of the pandemic, what it helped us is to really push us, to find ways to show up and to do other things. And I think parents now had that ability to use it, to even turn the camera and be there. You could see at the beginning how they have their camera off, most of them. But now it's so beautiful to see that, because we have also parenting classes on Mondays, that between another colleague and I, we run them for them. Like, because like Kelly says, it's so important. I know that kids are getting ready for school to succeed. So as parents, we believe that we need also to keep learning, to keep growing, to help them in a better way. So we bring topics about, how to help your child with reading, or how to release stress, or how to, what to do when someone bully your child, because the Wake Academy also comes and give us some classes. So that's really beautiful, and it's so nice to see the parents now interacting and very engaged. And we really believe that we are building a very strong community. Um, and we want to do a very good transition, because so many things have been forming, so many things have happened in these years, that we work really hard for the community to be strong. And now we have a beautiful committee also, that Janet is part of it, and we're so excited too. Janet always brings so much wisdom and so much, from the tutor part. So we have um, two, three representatives from tutors. And then we have also parents representatives. And then, so then we want to form a very strong committee to help Denise in this position. So for this transition that we are now, I just want to say the first thing, that it was an amazing experience to work with Kelly. It's just Kelly's in my heart always, and we really work
And
so
you
well
are
together.
mine, Claudia.
And we want the best for this program, and that's why we were very careful to pick a person to be a coordinator for this program and do both sides. Kelly used to do the tutor side, I used to do the parent side, and we collaborate and think. But we believe that it has a very good impact. It will have a very good impact having just one person doing the two parts, to be in contact with the tutors and with the parents, and be like a global thing with the support of the committee. And so that it will be a great base there for her. So we interview a few candidates, and we just love what Denise brought um, at the table for this program. We will introduce Denise, but I think for this transition, Kelly and I were very committed to support Denise as much as we can, to help her, with, because we have all these things on the background, right? Like which families, which tutors are going to continue, that we know, which families we know continue, how used to be the classes, all that we have been working on these years together. So we are very committed to help her out. So in the next months, right now that we are, I think right now is a perfect time before they start school, so we have some time to do smoothly this process, maybe contact some families, contact the tutors, introduce herself, seeing um, what the changes are. um, and we are very committed to do that. And Denise, we are very, very happy that you are now part of Semillas as a coordinator. And if you want to introduce yourself and just let us know, and we know, Kelly and I, we know, and it was one of our first questions, but if you want to tell them why brought you, what made you apply for this position, and what is your passion to, you have so many passions, I know, but why was your passion to work specifically for this program and this community?
Hi, well, my name is Denise. Nice to meet you all. I am from Puerto Rico, so I have also the Hispanic accent. Um, I I feel the necessity to find a job, but not only as a job to earn money. I want a job that help me to or to let me or help my community. I was volunteering in Fiesta Cristiana for a couple of months, almost a year, and I was helping out a lot. And I know some of the needs that my Hispanic community have here. And when I saw that they were looking for a coordinator for Semillas, I say, well, maybe this is my time to help out. When I first moved out of Puerto Rico, I was in Florida, but then I came here to North Carolina with my two kids. So I know the struggle that they have when they are learning English, or when the kids are in another country, different of their parents, when they are when the mothers are raising kids in another culture, and that language barrier that can, struggles or um, made them the harder the situation in the school. So I say, well, let's pray to God. This is my opportunity to help out if my community need me or need my help. So this is a good way to give something back, right? That all that blessing that we got. So if you have any questions, I am here for answer to you. I know Janet was in another meeting. I think that we met before um, in the community in the second interview. This was like a three steps, and I got three interviews here. But I was very happy to still knowing more of the program. And I thanks Kelly and Claudia for the opportunity to be here and to
Denise,
I
can
know.
you share a little? Denise, can you share about what took you to Florida and how you helped the community there in Florida when you first moved there?
Yes, well, I live in Puerto Rico all my life and never was in my mind to live out of my country. But in 2017, the Hurricane Maria hit my island and was really bad there, for me and my kids. And I have that opportunity to came to Florida. I saw a message in the social media from this charter school inviting the families from Puerto Rico to come there, and they were helping the families to establish there and give tuition for the kids. They gave like free books, scholars, different things. So I when I moved to Florida, I applied with them. I got hired for the school to work in the after school program doing tutoring for the kids of the school, English speakers kids. But then a lot of more families came also from Puerto Rico. We were like kind of refugees because FEMA, they were helping us to stay there. They were paying our hotels to be there in Florida. And then I became the ESL coordinator for the school to help all that almost 20 families from Puerto Rico. And I started doing the assessment to the kids to know how was their proficiency in English, and helping out the families as well because they were Spanish speakers. So one of the things in Puerto Rico, we learn some English in the schools all the years, but we learn how to read and write English, but we didn't speak English there. So you don't have to speak English in Puerto Rico. So I learned 3 years ago, and I am still learning to speak English. I know that some verbs like killing me, but I try. Yes, but in Florida was a really good experience because all the families were in the same condition, looking for a better life or better quality. Sorry, a better quality for our kids. So I was serving as a liaison as well between the families and the school administration.
I really
Thank you,
love
Denise.
that part, that Denise, when we interview you, Denise, that I love that you are so so much, you know so much what the struggles are because you were there, you were there, you experienced it with so many families there, what they went through, and I think one of the things that really kept my attention and my desire of really picking Denise, because it has been really great that that she has exactly that experience, very close, that she saw so many families, so many kids needing this, succeed in a school, coming to another country. I mean, she herself lived it. So I really love that part. And then that you were like a coordinator for the ESL program, that many of our families don't know English, and but they have these, and more program, I can see more and more families really getting more comfortable on trying to communicate with a tutor. I think in the beginning they were a little more shy, or like, I don't know English, this, but I think now that they know the tutor more, that they get more comfortable, they tried, they do their best to communicate, to tell them about the homework, or uh, even about their lives. I don't know if I can share this, but it's something that just came to my mind about that. One of our cases, one of our families, it was so beautiful that they had a tutor for a while, right, when we were like face to face. And this is what Semillas is, this is also what Semillas is. This tutor don't speak English, the mom don't speak I'm sorry, the tutor don't speak Spanish, the mom don't speak English, but they had a beautiful friendship. The tutor went through a really tough time, having in her family a death that it was very horrific for the tutor. The mom went through to the tutor's house, and they just hug each other, they just hug each other. She says, Claudia, it was beautiful. I went to the funeral, and I just saw how beautiful the service was that honored the life of this being, and being with the tutor in that moment that was very special for her. um and the tutor said that it was so special to have the family there. And those things are just like, oh my god, language doesn't matter. Like, it's just not about language. Like, we have so much more ways of communicate, and in a situation like that, when you just feel the person, when you just feel the love, the care, um I don't know, just all the stories. And it's not the only one. There's so many beautiful stories of great bonding with the family and the tutor, that some of them, even some parents says, they become my family. They become my family, and it's incredible because they don't speak the same language. They don't even understand so much each other, but they just feel like they are family for all the care that they show. So that's why it makes very special this program.
That is so true. And when we start kind of going back to the basics of how it comes together, tutors will register to be tutors, and they'll give some information about when they can tutor and what age student they're looking for. And then the parent will register their children, again, giving some information on what they might like their student to be tutored in, maybe math, English, just help with homework, the grade, what school they go to. And then the tutor coordinator, along with some other individuals, would come together, the committee or Claudia and I, and some people who know. It was easier when we were in person because we seemed to know each. We got to meet everybody to make those pairs. But we just do the best we can making those pairs. Sometimes there is not a good match, and if it's not a good match, we tell the tutor and the parent and the student. Sometimes they're just not good matches. We'll, still rearrange some things if need be. And so that's happened a few times, but the majority of the time, these matches are made, and then beautiful stories like Claudia shared where these families are really caring for each other. And it's an equal, we always say we're not serving someone else, we're serving each other. It's that mutual reciprocity. I know Denise, and we talked about this in the committee, this coming year, it'll still be, we're looking at a hybrid at some point. So we'll keep the virtual component because that does allow parents some flexibility. Like Denise wasn't able to participate in Semillas, her children weren't, because she was working at the time when we had it in person. And it would be my hope that we still kind of require that, but the virtual aspect allows for flexibility. We still want parents to be close by during the tutoring. But it's yet to be determined if we start that in person in the fall or in the spring semester. At this point, I say, any questions about Semillas State tutoring ministry community? Janet, I know you have some beautiful stories about your student as well. If you feel led to share a little bit there, we will need to do some assessments on how, on the progress of students of some sort, but it's not necessarily academic. It's that wanting to learn, and it's a long-term goal. But we do need to keep track of the stories of how Semillas is being impactful, because we're hoping to receive some grant money, and we have to keep track of the successes or the progress of Semillas. But Janet, I jumped in. If you would like to share some, if not, it's fine as well.
Oh, I'm Janet, and my husband Gary. We're both tutors, and I had the same child for second, third, fourth, and fifth grade. And when she came in second grade, she was completely literate and an advanced learner in Spanish. I mean, this kid is just advanced learner. But of course, didn't know English. And so it was so frustrating for her. For the first time in her life, she wasn't the top of the class, and she couldn't just understand everything. So a lot of it was just getting down to her level, and just like she would draw a picture and we would write a sentence. We would put the sentence together in English. That was about, that was all we really needed to do, is just give her some confidence and get through her homework. And as she was able to do more in school, then she was able to, she took charge of her homework. And Gary and I both tutored her last year, because in virtual you had to have whatever.
Yeah, we tried to offer bi-weekly if the family wanted bi-weekly tutoring.
So we had the same student, but I did her one night, he did her one night. And she was reading Anne of Green Gables, and I mean the original, but I don't even know these words. And she would read it to us when we ran out of things to do. After she did all her science and her computer all wizard, she's advanced now, and she's identified AG and everything. And it was just a matter of time before she was gonna be. But still, sometimes she would say, you know, I don't want to do it. I don't like school. A lot of times, you know, a teacher who didn't know her might say, well, this kid has a bad attitude, or she don't want to try. So why would I, you know, even try to tutor her? But she just needed that confidence, and it was just such a joy to tutor her. And we went over to her house once. We're gonna have them over, but then COVID. So, but a couple times I've been with them to a doctor or whatever, called the school or emailed the school for the teacher conference to read the report card or get some things to work on or stuff like that. So through all that, you really get to know the kids, the family, the other siblings, and they're just a beautiful, beautiful family. And that family that we tutored is one of the ones that does not go to Fiesta Cristiana. They're Catholic, and they're very active in the Catholic Church. In fact, her parents were both youth leaders, lay leaders in the Catholic parish where they were in Mexico. They were like the staff, and they ran all the retreats and the youth programs and everything. So they were very, very committed to the Catholic Church. But her mother was so touched by the program and how they accepted her and reached out to her, which I think, and Kelly would always say this too, it really said a lot about the program, that you didn't have to belong to Fiesta, you didn't have to be a Protestant, you didn't have to agree with our theology, you know, we're not trying to make you, you know, member of the church. We really truly just wanted to help your family. And the adjustment, her mom always said that when she first got here and saw that homework, she just started crying, and her husband and she both said, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And it was just that confidence that I can turn in my homework, and that just tied her over. She was so grateful.
Beautiful story.
So beautiful. And that's a great point, Janet, that you are making. A lot of the families in Semillas, most of them, they don't come to Fiesta. They actually, most of them go to the Catholic Church. And that's a beautiful thing about Fiesta. You know, Denise and I belong to Fiesta. We are members of the church, but we are open to all the community. You know, it's a church that it's a community church. It doesn't matter where you are coming from or what language, what religion you are. It's just very open. And just to see it, when we were face to face, one of my favorite times, it was at the end of the we say, okay, time is up, you know, and they start cleaning up, and then we clean up. All the parents come from the parenting class, tutors and kids come from their tutoring, and then we all go together around holding hands to do a closing prayer. And it was just one of my favorite times, really, just see. And you could see him grow, it keep growing and growing and growing, and then we wouldn't fit on that room. You know, it was a huge room, and then kids and parents and tutors hold hands, and we just close in pray. And it's just, I don't know, I just experienced God there in the middle of us, just saying, this is what I want for my children. You know, just being together, no matter age, no matter language, culture, church, whatever. You know, this is what I want. So it was beautiful.
I would just like to add that I teach high school, and some of my students wanted to tutor just to be able to, you know, hear Spanish, because you're tutoring in English, but if they're studying Spanish and they're curious to see if they can understand some things or whatever. And, you know, you have to ask yourself, how many Hispanic families do these kids come in contact with? And when you read about Hispanics and immigration on the news, you know, it's not a one-on-one thing. And after you've met someone who has the label, it's suddenly you hear all the news differently. So to me, it was really important, the international aspect of it, and the one-on-one diversity for the young people that are involved.
Right. And we do have a fair number of high schoolers, as well as, like I said, the UNC club. And thanks to you, Janet, also for helping make that connection. I know, Joe, you and Kara have also been tutors. Is there anything you would like to share about your experience?
Well, I had a mixed bag of, I guess you would call them mattress. Um, a couple of my students were really studious, and we seemed to make good progress in the academic area. And some other students seemed to have a problem with to not be quite so motivated. Let me put it that way.
And you were working with a lot of middle schoolers as well, because
Yeah, I was trying to work with older students, and I I don't know. Probably I'm I'm not the what the motherly type. Uh, anyway, I wanted to comment on something else though. Claudia was talking about the cultural exchange, and Janet mentioned that the uh, the Spanish students. Um, I had when I got into the program in the first place, I started trying to learn a little bit of Spanish, and I was wondering if there was any way within the program or within some allied program to help English speakers who want to learn or practice Spanish to you know be the other half of the cultural exchange, if you want to put it that way. I don't know. I mean, I certainly think I know English. I don't know Spanish all that well, but possibly could be of some assistance to people who do speak Spanish trying to learn English, or just want to help gringos who are interested in their language. Um, I had tried talking to some of the students in Spanish, and I find a lot of them don't seem to be all that fluent in it. They can speak it well enough, but they don't seem to use it in reading and writing. I guess there's a what is it, debate within the community whether students should be encouraged to learn Spanish or just learn English. Personally, I think it would be highly advantageous to anybody in America to know both.
yes.
And it would seem to me it's a total wasted opportunity if if a child lives in a home where Spanish is spoken, that they aren't learning Spanish as well as English to the level of their maturity. And so anyway, that just but so I was just interested in that aspect of how the bilingual character of the program might be enhanced.
Denise, you want to share your thoughts on that?
Yes, yes. Hi, Joe. Nice to meet you. I think that this is one of the challenge that me also as a family, as a mother, that we have with our kids, because at home they still speak in Spanish with their families, and but at school they are learning to read, to write, and to speak English. But one of the rules here in my house for my kids, my daughter is 15 years old. She is in high school. My son is 13 years old, but he just graduated from 8th grade, so he's going to high school also. But one of my rules at home is that they have to speak Spanish here. So they keep their Spanish, but the difference is that my kids came to the US when they are grown-ups. But some of the kids, maybe from Semillas, they are young kids, maybe in kindergarten or first graders. When you learn how to write or read, and they are only learning or to read and write in English. They didn't, learn how to write or read in Spanish. So this is a challenge for the families if they want to help their kids to still being bilingual. They need to work a little bit in Spanish with the reading and writing at home. And anytime you want to practice your Spanish, yo, I'm here. Estoy aquí. Cuando quieran practicar, whenever you want to practice your Spanish, I'm here. So, but that is a good idea. That is a good idea, a good exchange of um, conocimiento that we can share, right?
Mhm.
Of
I
knowledge.
want to, yes. I want to comment
I don't know
also.
that, I'm sorry. I don't know if, I know schools sometimes have foreign language programs, but Americans are not particularly good at foreign language education for Americans, much less for students who, maybe have an advantage. But I would think that maybe maybe we need to set up classes in Spanish for people
Yeah,
for children or adults who want to learn it, but and the fact that there are so many people available who actually speak it as a native language should be a major advantage to the other students in the class.
right. Yes.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, that was, um, I was just going to comment on, as far as communicating together when we have a Zoom meeting. We did with the parents that are part of the committee do not speak English. And so we had a translator that on the Zoom meetings, I'm sure most of you probably have experienced this, where you can click the globe if you want to hear it in English or Spanish. And we have the Semillas State, I mean, the UNC club that are really good on their bilingual, that I think some of those can help in communicating that aspect, translating in some of the Zoom meetings so we can all be together. It doesn't really address learning Spanish, but it does allow for everybody to be together. I know how much I enjoyed being a part of Denise's interview with the committee and hearing in English what the parents were saying in Spanish. And it was beautiful to see their faces and to understand in English for me, since I'm not bilingual, to understand their thoughts and their words, which is phenomenal.
And another thing that I always I know in a few meetings that Kelly and I we have with tutors, something that I tell them too, and I think maybe that's one of my passions. That's why I really like to provide these parenting classes that for parents, because in the methodology that I certify for, it's a lot of healing that we have to do, as parents. And I tell the tutors that don't take personal if sometimes the kids are very disconnected. That don't I know these families going through so much, some stories that it's hard to hear. They are hard to hear what they go through to look for a better life for their children and for them. So they go through a lot of experiences that parents, when they don't work on that, of course, they have it ingrained, and then sometimes unconsciously we pass all these fears to our children. So these parents went through so much, then they need to work 2 jobs, then the kid sometimes they don't seem interested in things because they don't even have that connection sometimes with a parent. And I know sometimes as parents and from our culture, we say, no, you are Mexican, you have to be Mexican. These are people, these are kids that they were born here, and it's so confusing. It's so confusing. So I that's why I really really, I think my mission, my heart is on helping parents on how to heal so many of our own things, you know, because we pass it to our kids. And so don't take any personal situation if the parent sometimes is like disconnected, the child is disconnected. It's not because they want to be like that, it's because they can't many times, you know, they can't, they have so many fears, they have so much inside that is hard to express some other emotions that we would like to see. So I know it's not in all the cases, so many families are so resilient and are just so appreciative for everything that the program does for them. But there are some others that it's hard, they feel hard to connect with everything, you know, because they have been suffering so much.
Kara, I'm gonna open it up to you to kind of wrap us up if you want to share some of your tutoring experience as well in that process.
Sorry, I had to unmute there. No, my son and I were involved with Read and Feed over the summer, and then through another tutor learned about Semillas. And then in worship, we saw a video that had Kelly Lewis and several other tutors talking about the relationship that they had with the families. And so my son, who's a rising junior, I said to him, he was a rising freshman at the time, I was like, that sounds like something we need to be a part of. And he said, absolutely. So we got paired with two. And so Cade got paired with Leo, Claudia's son. And I got paired with a little girl, and it was amazing. And then this next year, we got paired with a family. So I took the older student, and then my son took the younger. And they have gone through quite a bit, and it's just been amazing how God has allowed us just to be together and to share, just to be, to just share that love for one another that's just intrinsic to who God is. And so it's just been amazing. And so, so we're going to continue with it. And I have told several of my girlfriends who have subsequently gotten involved in it on just because they were previous military who've retired in the area and looking for ways to get involved. And I told them, I said, oh, well, let me tell you about Semillas. They're like, oh my goodness. So I want to do that. I'm like, okay, here's how we do that. So I just think it's amazing how God uses something that's as fundamental to it as learning, but it's intricately woven within God's creation to just be excited about learning and to be able to just sit with another family, and regardless of language, the differences in cultures, you know, at that moment, God brings us together to do something that is so much bigger than any of us, so much bigger than any of us. And it's true godly work. So it's an amazing organization. And I think if you are interested or, you know, just thinking to yourself, yes, that's definitely something I would like to do, then reach out to Kelly or Denise or Claudia and let them know. And it's really amazing how God goes before us and just prepares a place where we're all brought together to do something really extraordinary for this next generation. And that's just to love on kids and be present with them and be present with their families. So, and that is the email if you guys have any further questions. But does anybody have any questions, anything they want to bring up or? Okay. Well, if, like we said, the email is in the chat. And so, but if you have further questions or want to get more information, please reach out to one of us. We'll get you pointed in the right direction. But I
Yeah.
like, we can get you going.
Mhm.
But just so thankful to
Mhm.
Kelly and Claudia and Denise for being with us this evening and just sharing what this ministry is and just sharing their hearts, and for all of you to be present this evening and just to learn and support this organization. They are really doing some amazing work, and it's exciting seeing how our churches are coming together to do something very noble in the lives of these kids. So anything else that you guys have or that we haven't covered?
One thing I was just thinking, go ahead,
Go,
Claudia.
Kelly.
Well, I was just thinking mine's always logistic. There is tutor training, and we provide resources for you. We have a website that has resources. So if you haven't tutored before, and there will be lots of guidance also on starting and continuing with it. And Claudia?
Yeah, and yeah, it doesn't have to be like a teacher or a tutor before, I think it really, like, a lot of these kids need reading skills, and just like even guiding them or listening to them and encourage them to read. It really helps a lot. That program helped so much my daughter. She was very shy when she started first grade. She was like, "Mommy, I don't want to go. I don't know how to read. I don't know." She was so afraid. And her tutoring was mainly about just reading books together, and at the end of the year, she's reading so well, and just that encouragement it has been beautiful. But yeah, I just wanted to say that we are gonna, I guess, right now we are open for registrations, either kids and tutors, and then in September when the school starts, then is when the tutoring will remain.
And there's a lot of calendar fill in that we need to do with Denise and the committee to also plan some activities to get together and things like that. So there's a lot to come is what I would add.
Question. Denise, how can I reach you on email?
I will share my email here in the chat, so you can have my email. For now, I am sharing my personal email. I don't know if I
You
am
want me
gonna
to
have someone
this?
from.
Yeah,
So Semillas?
you can use the Semillas, and we'll make sure it gets to Denise. I know we talked
Okay.
with Pastor Jose. We passed, well,
Okay.
just to answer that also, Joe, we talked with Jose Luis today, and Denise will be getting 2 email addresses, one for the church and one specifically for Semillas. So this Semillas will transition into
Yeah.
a
I don't
new.
start officially. I was going to be here only so you can meet me and I can have the opportunity to share some talks with you, the tutors. But my position is going to start on July 16. But
Today is the
previous,
very first day Denise knows about.
thank you.
That's
So
like
Yes,
we're
what?
like, come to this meeting tonight.
yes, I received the good news this morning that the committee, I don't know the director committee, that they had a meeting Monday night, last night, and they present the candidates, or I don't know how it works, but they approved my hire last night. So my pastor Jose Luis called me this morning before 8 a.m. 8 to tell me the good news that they approved me as a coordinator. So yeah, I was really excited to start working. So I didn't wait until the July 16, and I am here. I share my
Okay.
personal email, so you can reach me anytime before that day. Feel free to contact me, Joe, or
Okay.
whatever.
Gracias.
Awesome.
De nada. You are very welcome.
Well, thank you, Kara, also
Oh,
for
For the
having us
invitation,
tonight.
Car.
Yes.
absolutely. This has been an honor to have you guys with us, and thank you so much for taking time to share your stories and your and just all the intricacies surrounding this program. And thank you guys for coming and supporting this ministry. And again, the emails are in the chat. So if you are interested in getting involved and are not currently involved, please take that down. But also I'll make sure I have it too. So if you didn't get it, then let me know and I'll make sure we'll get you connected. We promise. So let's close with a word of prayer. Let us pray. God, we are thankful for diversity. God, we're thankful for space that allows us to come together as different cultures, but above all, we come together in your name to support one another, to love one another, to teach, to inspire, to just be fully present. And God, so we pray that you will guide us in this new ministry as it breaks forth in this new upcoming school year. God, we pray that the tutoring pairing will go well, and we pray for the transition. We pray for all who are involved in this. And above all, God, we pray for the students, and we just pray that they will have a great year in school and will begin to each and every day settle into a new sense of normalcy. God, thank you so much for your presence in our lives. We love you now and always. Amen.
Amen.
Right. Thank you guys so
Amen.
much.
Good night.
Everybody,
Yes.
good night.
Bye.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Bye.
Bye. Nice to see you, Car.
Sweetie, take
Bye.
care. Bye.